I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the
Family Showdown!
Howdy folks, welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter, this is Rebecca, my comrade in arms. Today we're looking at my 50 to 41. It is the worst of the best. So what we got going on here? We got 3 new games. Three new games.
Okay.
We got 5 games that went up for various and asunder reasons.
Asunder?
Sundry?
It's sundry, not
there we go.
asunder. I like that.
Could be asunder. There's a lot of tacky games. And a couple games that went down. Anyway.
What is happening?
Let's start it off right away with some triangle action. Dominations!
Yeah, this is my 26.
26!
Because it's a good
It's not that
game.
good.
Yes, it is. How dare you make fun of my Dorito game?
So Dominations is kind of an
Tell me that's not
abstract civilization game. You're basically putting these tiles, building out this map. You're connecting the tiles in such a way that it gives you resources. You're matching up little symbols, little gems, little colored circle
Yeah,
things.
those are little gems.
They give you resources. Use those resources. You build up techs. The techs, you're basically creating a secondary tableau of tech things on your board and doing some abstract-y stuff with that as well. Building these big giant monuments that are 3D and are very hard to get back in the box. But it's a cool little game. It's more of a puzzle, an abstract puzzle, than it is a Civ game. But the Civ gives it a little more oomph, a little window dressing for the game itself. I like it. This is not my cup of tea. Usually these abstract kind of puzzly games, but this one works for me. I like how not only the board works, but how you puzzle out your tech tree over here. Tech tree. You have different technologies you can advance in. You get a lot of points that way. But it's a cool little Civ game-ish. Abstract Civ game with triangles.
You know, I learned something. I think I understand why this is ranked so differently from what I ranked it.
Why?
You said one subtle little thing. You talked about how difficult it was to get back in the box. I think subconsciously you were like, this is hard to get back in the box. Oh, I hate this game. And so you docked it.
I'm going to take
you docked
against my better judgment. I'm
gosh.
taking the lid off.
Oh, why are you doing this? Oh, dear.
See, we do vertical storage, so this happens. But you got these 3D.
You can't even see it for all the cards.
All right, I've changed my mind. I'm putting this back.
It's right here.
Oh, there it is.
Well, it was right here.
Oh dear, did you move it?
No.
Oh.
It was...
Don't move
where it
anything.
was.
Don't move anything.
Okay, there's nothing to see here. It's like we just walked upon a brutal crime and then we just were like, move along, folks.
Oopsie.
Move along, folks.
Shouldn't have opened the box. Just use your imagination. The little 3D monuments are hard to get back in the box. Maybe we shouldn't store this vertically.
As you shake it, give me this. My baby.
Domination. So this game was introduced to us by the infamous,
notorious,
nefarious Tommy, who normally introduces less than quality games.
Oh, man. Shots fired.
This one we played, and I immediately bought it because it was so good. Diamond in the rough, they say. Diamond in the rough.
Wow, you just came out.
So this is new to the list, new to game to the list. Dominations, the road to a civilization. All right, let's move on. Move on to a looker.
That was pretty cool to look at game. I like that game.
You might want to look the other way for the next game.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
Food chain.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Food chain magnet.
Take 2.
Magnet.
Oh,
comes
gosh.
in. It comes in the famous Splatter shirt box. Food chain magnet. I'm finding as time goes by that I'm really loving Splatter games.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say shirt boxes. Sorry. Anyway,
have an amazing shirt box collection. No, I'm finding I love the Splatter games more and more because, for the most part, this one's kind of an exception. This one has more rules than most of the other Splatter games, but they tend to have a smaller rule set. But the decision space is enormous on what you can do.
Yep.
I love this one. This one has a nice build-up arc or arch, arc. I'm gonna say arc. Build-up arc to it.
Okay.
You start out and you're just like some
Arch.
low-level manager running delivering some soda pop, and then you're building up, and you're pretty soon you're this big giant restaurant conglomerate that with all these
A
different,
magnate, as it were.
with all these different levels of you basically you're the CEO, and you got some sub managers and vice presidents and managers and all sorts of workers and all sorts of craziness going on, multiple restaurants, all kinds of crazy advertising going on and stuff like that. It's got a cool build up. That said, like most Splotter games, it is not amazing to look at because for me, these games seems like it takes for as balanced and as robust the rules, the game is, not the rules, the game is. It seems like there's so much work that goes into building these games, and so they have a
Yeah.
higher price
It's a
point,
monster of
and
a
the
game.
production level is on the lower side. But love this game. It is fun, but a couple things. One, Splotter games are mean. They will make you cry. These games make grown men cry.
You're really selling this game to me, Haas. I was
In a
gonna
good
say,
way.
with that-
They're happy tears.
Are they? I can't believe I just destroyed you. Sorry.
And they're harder to learn. They tend to be longer games. This one's says it's 2 to 4 hours, so 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that to play these games. And it can tend to have, I would say, a runaway leader problem, but the way you avoid that is in games with more than 2 players, you just beat up the leader and slow him down. Now, 2-player game, that becomes an issue because
Fully.
I tend to like this game with more players. But it plays.
I'm affronted.
Plays just fine 2 players.
I'm just kidding.
I like this game with other players.
Wow! Wow!
I mean you and other players.
Yeah, I caught that. Good save. Good save.
Food chain magnate. What's cool is at Board Game Geek Con this year they had like a food chain magnate mega tournament thing.
Really? Oh,
They had like dozen food chain games going on at once.
Nice.
It was just something like that. I'm exaggerating, but it was crazy.
that's awesome.
I didn't have the time to devote to that, but it looked really fun. I stopped by and kind of peeked in occasionally. But this is a good one. This is maybe the most popular Splotter, maybe. I don't know. But I love them. They're hard to get. They're expensive. They're continually out of print. And when they pop into print, they're in print for 10 seconds, and they're out of print again.
Sounds about right.
So they're harder to
Yeah.
get. They're expensive, blah, blah, blah. But they're great games. I love it. I love me some Food Chain Magnate. This one went up just a hair. It went up from 58 to 49. So same ballpark.
That's nice. It's in my top 200.
Same ballpark. All right. Let's move on from you're from being a restaurateur to being a Lord of Hellas.
Yar!
Lord of Hellas. So Lord of Hellas is my number. That's my number 48. It was 53 last time, so it went up just a little bit, kind of like Food Chain, just a little bit, just a little bit.
It's in my top 200 as well.
That's not a selling point.
Says the one who was like, this mean, it's terrible, it sucks, it's this, it's in a shirt box, but it's a really great game. But my saying it's in the
that
top.
was mostly for
in the
effect.
top-
Come on, work with me. It's for effect.
It's in my top two.
acting.
It's in my top two. It's in my top
Acting.
200.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Interesting. Very interesting.
We're talking about Lords of Hellas.
We were, I think.
Lords of Hellas. So I'm learning. I'm liking these dudes on the map game that have some kind of Euro stuff thrown in. This one lesser than some of the other hybrid games, but this does have some Euro bits in it.
Wow. Rude.
What I like about this game, it's an area control game for the most part, but it has like multiple paths to victory, and they're all very balanced in my opinion. You get shrines, you control regions of the board, you can defeat monsters, all sorts of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You start out with your hero, and he's a crappy hero that's not very good with the sword, and pretty soon he's an epic hero of epicness, doing all kinds of epic things, fighting big epic monsters. Love it. It's a fun one. This one is surprisingly, for what it is, an easy game to teach, which seems to be that way for these kind of hybrid games. They kind of simplify the combat system. A lot of these dudes on the map games have very robust combat systems. Like if you're in this situation, you have higher ground and blah 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 and all this, and I'm attacking with these kind of troops and your troops. This has they take the dudes on the map thing and simplify and make a deterministic kind of combat and make the combat just zip along. So that's less to teach, and that gets you back in the game and lets you do other things. And this one does that very well. We got like everything in the world for it. I don't think we've played anything but the base game. I think we trickled in some things,
Gosh,
some monsters,
some
monsters and stuff. But we haven't played with any of the expansion stuff. Try those out.
Base game's just where it's at.
Lords of Hellas, great one. If you like hybrid Euro games, this one, like I said, this one's way more on the attacky side than a lot of the hybrid games, hybrid Euro American games, whatever. Love it. Love Lords of Hellas. I'm gonna get this on the table. We need to. I think we talked, and maybe you don't remember, but we talked about next time we're playing like everything.
Yes.
We're throwing everything we could possibly throw in.
And taking notes. Yep.
It seems to be what we're doing now with a lot of our games is when we play them, if we haven't played all the add-ons and expansions and fun bits, we throw everything in, then we scribble a note. We like this, didn't like this, and the next time we play, we're going to look at our notes and design the game, only include the things we really like.
Yes.
So we're going to do that next time we play this. Lords of Hellas, my number 48. Right.
Definitely a top 200 game.
Oh, dear. Let's move on to my number 47. This one got punitated a little bit. This one used to be one of my faves way back in the day. Back in the day, as they say. 2016, it was 10. Top 10. 10, 13, 14. No, 10, 13, 34, 14. Pop back up. 23, and now all the way down to 47. Why is that?
Why do you hate this game now?
Because I love this game. It is Age of Empires 3, the Age of Discovery. I think I don't like it because the box is falling apart.
Is that what it is? Our poor sad little box.
Maybe our most beat up game we own.
No, there's no maybe. It is our most beat up game.
This is a ex-Tom Vassal game. Tom didn't take care of his games.
That's right. Hey, this is my 116.
Oh, get off my lawn.
Hey, for me, and it's being a game with some attack stuff in it. That's pretty good.
Yeah, this is a lot. This one kind of funny. It landed kind of the same area as Lords of Hellas because this one has Euro elements and also area control fighting kind of elements as well. This one's again more on the Euro side. This one's a worker placement game. You start off with 5 little crappy workers, and you eventually, as time goes by, you're gonna get more and more workers to work with, and there is different workers to work with. There's different kinds of workers. So you have like missionaries and soldiers and captains, and there's different worker placement spots on the board. And some workers are better at different spots. So if you put a missionary on like colonization, they go over and they get a benefit. But if you put them down in the fighty bits, they're just a regular worker. Same way with the soldiers. You put the soldiers in the fighting area, they're better. But if you put them up in like the trading thing, the merchant thing, they're just a regular old worker. You're building buildings or getting advancements that give you superpowers that only you get. It's got the cool worker placement section, the whole side of a board's worker placement. And you're putting all your workers on the board, and then they fire off from top to bottom. So everybody puts all the workers, and then they all go off, and you can use stuff up at the top to help you with stuff, potentially stuff later on. Awesome game. I think I've come to believe that I enjoy this game with a lot more players. I enjoy the 2-player, but it's a different kind of game. When you play 2-player, it tends to be more focused in on the set collection and things like that, whereas you play a lot of players, that area can... Bless you.
Thank you.
That area control stuff really comes out. For us, when we play 2-player, we kind of play it Careberry for the most part. She goes to her spots, I go to my spots, and then we use abilities to move workers around to kind of attack each other that way. We tend to not focus on the wars and the battles and things like that. But with lots of players, those actions become much more valuable to do. I love it. It's a great one. Hybrid game. Worker placement, area control, set collection, goodness. Age of Empires 3, Age of Discovery, now known as Empires, Age of Discovery.
Why do they mess with the names? I know.
Because it's an IP. They lost the
know,
IP.
I know.
Speaking of Age of Empires, I'm currently playing all the Age of Empires games, starting with the very first one, going through all the definitive editions to the very end.
Giant nerd.
My life is complete from the next. Well, busy, not complete. My life is already complete.
Oh.
My life is busy
No.
for the next 5 years.
I know, it's great.
Let's move on to my number 46. This is a cheat. My first and only cheat, I'm sure.
I doubt it.
So when I put all the games in my little Pub Meeple ranking system and did the permutations and combinations and the doobly dobbly, these two games came out back to back,
Okay.
and they're basically very similar. So I
Okay.
merged them. They merged.
Oh, so this was under top 101 games of all
They
time.
merged together into one thing, and it's Dominant Species.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking? False advertising.
Dominant Species and Dominant Species Marine. Not Dominant Species Marine. Land, marine, water, land, water. Dominant Species. So, what?
Nothing.
If you really want to, okay, if you want to, if you don't want to cheat, then this one is my 46. No, wait, this is my 46 and this is my 45 and a half.
And then we chop off what game again? What's your 100? It just
Probably
doesn't
one that
exist.
you like, so I'm fine with getting rid of it.
Oh my gosh, what a troll.
CO2. 100. Spoilers if you haven't watched that one yet.
You better have by now.
Dominant Species Marine. So this is, what's funny is this one landed the same general area as Age of Empires because it uses the similar worker placement mechanism. You have worker placement and you're putting your workers on top to bottom and they fire off from top to bottom. If I recall correctly, Dominant Species, you put all your workers and they fire off at the end, and Marine, they fire off as you go, as you put workers on, like a normal worker placement.
Is it? Okay.
Normal worker placement game. But anyway, Dominant Species, kind of the difference between the two. Obviously, one's land, one's water, but more so, Dominant Species has set species that you play with set abilities. In Marine, you're drafting powers for your creature at the start of the game, and everyone starts with a unique creature that's different every time. And I believe, if I recall correctly, you gain powers as you go as well. You can gain superpowers as you go.
Okay.
Unlike, anyway. But, all that said, you think the worker placement and stuff like that, and asymmetrical powers, you're thinking maybe Euro game. This is a mean, brutal area control game.
Oh, yeah.
The worker placement just drives that area control, but it's all about the board. It's all about controlling areas and killing other people and dominating and controlling and death and destruction and all that stuff. So it is they're both brutally mean, but I love them. They're just, you have to know going in, they're area control games, and area controls tend to be attacky and mean and all that stuff. Longer games, these are probably in the 2 to 3 hour range of games. Marine, I believe, plays faster than Species. Am I right?
And I liked Marine a little bit better.
This one's 2
Maybe
to 4,
partly
and this
because
one's 1 to 3.
Yeah,
So,
it's a significant difference. It's funny because they do play similarly, but
yeah, I love them both. If I had to say, hey, you can only have one, I would take Marine because
Yeah.
it has that variable power thing.
Yeah.
Whereas I think if you play this one, there's two schools of thought. You play this one, you're going to get used to all the species, which is good and bad. You're like, it may feel samey over time, but some people like learning specific species and learning how to play them and how to maximize it. Whereas this one has more randomness in how the species are going to be and interact with each other, which I enjoy more. This one plays a little bit faster too.
Yeah.
So I would say this is an improvement over this one, but I enjoy both, and they both have a place in my world. Good times.
Yeah, it's surprising I like them at all, considering they're just mean. But the theme and everything, it works really. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Right.
It fits really well with it. They're solid games.
And it's interesting. This one's kind of more expandy, and this one has the ice. This one's contraction.
Yeah, this one is. Yeah, it's shrinking. That's true. It's very interesting how they do that. So
They're both really good games. They're both end up in the same spot. If you have to rank them, Marine is slightly above.
I mean,
Species.
and that picture is just so much cooler. Look at that.
Yeah, it is kind of epic.
Yeah.
All right, that's my number
What
40. What was it? 46 and 45.5.
That's amazing. Okay.
It was my 62 last time. Dominant Species was my 62 last time.
Okay.
I think Marine, when we played it,
It just brought back all those happy memories.
we haven't played the original in a while, and so it reminded me how much I loved the original as well. All right,
It was good stuff.
let's move on to another new game. Yeah, this is the second new game of 3. This is the latest and greatest. I don't know how, it's not really latest. It's new, but it's been around for a while. Of the West Kingdom series. This is a lot of people's favorite West Kingdom game. Not my favorite West Kingdom game. And that is Viscounts.
Oh yeah, I like this better than you.
Yeah.
I have this as my 21.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So Hunter hates this game.
I just hate it. 40, 45.
Yeah.
Viscounts of the West Kingdom. It's the latest in the West Kingdom trilogy. This one has got an interesting worker placement mechanism. You're a little dude on a horse driving around and this kind of rondelle thing going on. But as he's going, he's doing some kind of action selection of different spots. You're doing some area control on a castle. In the middle, you're building buildings. You're recruiting people to your deck. It's kind of almost a deck building game, but I call it a conveyor belt game. So basically, you're playing cards out, and they're moving along this conveyor belt, and then they're dropping off. So you get abilities when they're laid out in your tableau, but when they drop off, a lot of cards have a drop-off ability, so you get a bonus. So there's ways to manipulate that order. There's actions that let you do that. So if you want a drop-off ability, you may want to push it to the front of the line. But if you have a really cool power, you might want to keep it in the back where it's not going to drop off and go away. You got a lot of the West Kingdom games, you have these powers that you're improving on. So there's different skills that you have, different actions. You can make those more powerful by upgrading. A lot of things going on in this game, like all the West Kingdom games. For a while, this one was my favorite, but I'm finding there's a different one I like better. If you're following along at home, you know which one it is, but I'm not going to say. She loves this one by far compared to the other ones. I think you like the whole moving around the map and doing cool stuff.
I do. I love the way you travel around the map and kind of manipulate that, as well as the conveyor belt stuff.
The conveyor belt.
And then there's like the little...
I'm trademarking that. If anyone else has said it, I'm trademarking the conveyor belt mechanism.
What a nerd. And then in the middle, the little castle thing.
Yes.
Although I'm not very good at manipulating the castle bit. I don't know why, but I enjoy it.
Seems like an afterthought for you.
I know. I'm just I need to throw some people up on that castle.
Yeah.
Well, that requires planning. Next, I don't know. I don't know what it is about the castle, but...
Yeah, so you're basically doing some area control in the castle, and you get a lot of points that way, but you also get benefits, and it's interesting.
Yeah, and it's good.
It's almost like reminds me of the coin games at arcades where you put coins and you're pushing the coins off. Basically, as you're adding workers to the castle, it's pushing all the workers to higher levels of the castle. Yeah. It's kind of pushing them there. And there's some manipulation of moving the opponent to places they may not want to go and things like that.
Yeah, and I almost never get anybody into the top tier because I'm just like, I didn't plan for that. Whoops, okay. It's just, I need to work on it.
Love all of the West Kingdom games. They're all within, I want to say, almost 10 places of each other.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Let's see.
He's doing
11 places.
Wow, that's really
I love them all almost equally.
Cool.
And the top two tend to, on my mood, flip and flop, but the lower one stayed where it is.
Wow, ouch.
Yeah. I love Viscounts. It's a good one. There's a
lot of game for a small box, dude. This is another one of those.
There's a campaign expansion you get, the Tommy Saga campaign that you can play.
Tome Saga.
And basically you play through all the West Kingdom games, and then you kind of you earn points as you go, depending on how well you do.
Tome Saga.
And there's like an overall winner of the thing, and that's fun to do. It gives you a reason. Gives you a reason to play all 3 games back to back.
Yes, Tome Saga.
It's one word.
Tome Saga.
It is one word.
Tome Saga.
Tommy
It
Saga.
has tomes in it. It's all about tomes. Do your research.
Get out of here.
Give me this.
Get off my lawn with your grammar. All right, let's move on to my number 44. The last new game in this section of 10. We just played this one like yesterday. No, it was a few weeks ago, but we played this one recently, and it blew my mind because I love it. It's got a nice little rondelle action selection mechanism. It's a lot of the games. I'm finding I love a lot of games where it has all these different regions you're influencing, and they interact and weave together. And that is a Coloma.
Oh, I don't even have this on our list yet. This is new.
Yeah. I got this one at Board Game. Was it Board? No.
I think so.
I don't remember. Maybe Board Game Geek Con. I don't know.
But
Maybe
yeah, this
virtual
was
flea market, something. I got it recently.
yeah. I'm
Secondhand because it's out of print.
okay.
And when this
was
one was
fun.
Kickstarter, I was like, oh, I don't know, and I don't know. And I put in for $1. Basically, you can put in for $1
Gonna mark a spot.
to
sort of
mark
thing?
us to basically have a placeholder. And I completely like spaced out and didn't go back and buy it. So I'm really regretting that. But I was kind of waffling on it too. And then I did a lot of research on it, and I finally said, okay, I'm gonna go find it. And I sought it out, got a pretty good price for it. I really wanted the deluxe version, but that one's really, really, really hard to get. And honestly, the game looks great even with the basic bits.
Yeah, this was fun.
I love it. It's got anything that's got magnets.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I remember that now.
Yeah,
You
it's
were
got-
so
it's-
excited. You were like a little kid.
It's got
You're
an
like, "Look at that."
interesting action selection kind of rondelle-ish wheel that rotates, and certain actions are kind of blocked each round, and you kind of got to guess where you want to go. And if you go to a place that no one else goes to, you get a bonus. So you kind of go, okay, I think Rebecca's going to go do something at the mines. I'm going to go do something else.
I?
And I'll go there, and then she ends up going to the same spot as me, and I'm like, you ruined it for everybody. So I love this game. It's kind of got an Old West theme. It's got a lot of things going on, but what I find funny or interesting is that certain actions you take, you add like gunfighters that are going to come attack the town. So if you do certain actions, it adds more of those
More
guys.
drama.
And then there's almost like an area control kind of thing where you send some of your workers to go fight the gunfighters each round. There's a big gunfight at the end of each year or each big turn or whatever you want to call it. Fun little game with kind of a Western theme kind of put on top.
Yep.
It's got some interesting mechanisms in it. It's a good one. Hard to find. There's a rumor it's coming back in print, but the designers having issues getting it redone for whatever reason. But it's a good one if you seek it out maybe at a convention or you know someone that has it, give it a shot. It's a fun little Euro game.
It is.
Plays pretty quick, I want to say 60 minutes for us, for two.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Quick little game. Not too hard to teach and got some fun mechanisms.
We need to play this again soon.
We do.
It was really, really good.
So that's my number 44, new to the list,
Wow.
Coloma.
Tome Saga.
Tome Saga. Dog time.
Oh, the
I hate you.
She just trots on in like nothing.
Yeah.
She's like, la 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 la, daddy
She
hates
doesn't
me.
know.
La,
She doesn't
la.
know what word
I
hate
don't
means. She don't know any words.
I know, she's
All right, where we at?
disappointingly dumb.
43. All right, move on. All righty, folks. I don't know why I started off, but I wasn't ready to start. All righty, folks, let's move on to what are we moving? 43. No more, it's 43. It moved up my list. There's a reason it moved up my list because we played this game a couple of times with the base game.
Okay.
And we didn't realize that because we usually wait to play expansions. I'm turning around here.
Yeah.
We usually wait to play expansions for a while. And I didn't realize the expansion to Smartphone Inc. has the two-player junk in it. So basically there's two-player boards and two-player
That's
things.
funny.
And so we
That's
played it with
funny.
the two-player stuff.
Okay.
And that's why it went up. It got a little bump up my list. It bumped up a little bit from 51 to 43 because we finally played the upgrade, which includes the two-player. I guess it's a two-player and 2 and 3 player board. It basically because originally you had to like block off a bunch of places and do a lot of stuff and manipulate the board to play it 2 players.
Yeah.
But this, the 1.1 update gives a lot of that stuff in the box. Gives you a board that you don't have to augment for the number of players. Love me some Smartphone Inc.
Yeah, it's a great game. Did I play it in time to?
We played this a long time ago. I don't think you like this one. This is a very economic game. I don't know if you liked it as much.
I guess I don't like it enough to have it. Yeah, in the top 100. Then that's so weird.
Anyway,
a good
Smartphone
game,
Inc.
though.
is a fairly heavy economic game where you are a smartphone corporation, multinational corporation of smartphone people, and you're basically selling you're selling your phones throughout the different markets like North America and Asia and blah blah blah. And what's interesting is different areas want different types of stuff. They want certain features on your phone, so you get certain certain features and get things built into your phone and to be able to sell in those areas. It's got almost kind of some area control on the different areas, and you kind of got to expand out. So if you start in a certain region, there's certain regions that are attached to other regions, so you kind of expand your market to other regions. There's ways to do that. But what's the gimmick, and you usually have to have a gimmick to be in my top 100. The gimmick is it's got these cool little player boards, they call them tablets, I guess, and they have different actions on them. And you're going to take two of those tablets and overlap them with each other, and based on the number of squares you overlap, you get a certain thing, and the one actions that you see are the ones that you're going to get to take, and if you have multiple icons of the same action, it makes the action more powerful.
Yeah.
Awesome little game. It's got it's really well produced. It's got these cool little storage trays that you actually kind of almost use for when you play. You're manipulating those to play the game with all your little bits and stuff. Love this game. So fun. I want to play it again. I really want to play it again now that we've discovered that the expansion is the two-player. That's the two-player board.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
So I love this one. There's a brand new mobile markets game that came out recently. It's in the same company, same everything.
Yeah.
But it's a kind of a micro level view. This one's pulled back corporation multi.
Oh, okay.
This one is you're actually selling a phone to Joe.
Oh, okay.
And Joe wants a certain kind of phone.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a micro level of the game. As far as I know, it plays a little quicker, but it's just as robust as this one. It's not like a mini version of this game or
anything like
a
that,
shorter
yeah.
version. It's kind of its own
different angle.
own beast, but I think it's maybe a little more streamlined. But I want to try it out. I haven't had a chance to try it yet. But I love Smartphone Inc. Apparently, you hate it. She despises this game. This is it's not in her top 200.
I would never turn down a play of this. I
love Smartphone Inc. It's a great
on here
Euro
and I just
game.
missed it.
Fun with fun mechanisms.
It's a good game. It's a
Smartphone
great game.
Inc.
And just because it's not in my top 200 doesn't mean it's not a
And
great game.
the two-player, the two-player, what is it called? Overcome your limits with a special game board for 2 to 3 players. No clue. It's sat on our shelf for like a year.
You talk about people never read the back of the box.
Yeah, I should have read the back of the box.
Just saying. You
right.
bought that and you didn't even know.
Let's move on.
That's hilarious.
Let's move on to my number 42. This is one of the ones that went down. It went down
The life.
Went down
After
two.
the life, universe, and everything.
Went down 2 spaces. I hate it now.
2 spaces, huh?
I went down 2 spaces because of the box cover. And that is
box?
Lorenzo
Oh, you docked it.
Magnifico.
It's my number 60. You docked it just because of the cover. That would have been
I just kinda
actually if
wear
you really did that would be
kind of where
hilarious.
it lands. It's kind of it dropped drastically.
It's right where it needs to be.
It dropped drastically. It dropped from 21 to 40 last year, and now it's kind of hanging out where it is. There's just a lot of other Euro games that are kind of pushing this down a little bit. I still love Lorenzo. It's got some great mechanisms. It's a fun game. It plays amazingly well 2-player. I like that. Kind of have almost a little bit different paths to go. There's your board's kind of your engine. It's kind of an engine builder game. So you're basically doing a resource engine. You're doing a thing that changes those resources into other things engine. You have some set collection on cards, and you have some in-game scoring cards. And it's got a cool drafting system where you have these almost like columns of different cards, and you use your dice, and it's a community dice. It's a dice-driven game. You roll some community dice. You use those dice to go and draft cards out of these different columns, and you need certain number ranges to draft the different cards. It also has some kind of a track system for going up this military. I'm sure it has some other name, military track, and you get some bonuses there. Really cool game.
It's great.
I love it. You start out with your crappy little engine doing nothing, and pretty soon you got this amazing,
it's great.
cranking out all these resources and stuff, and getting all these cards. This one, for 2-player, you just cover some spots on the board. Pretty straightforward.
Yep.
We got the expansion. I don't even leaders, kings. I don't know what it's called. Renaissance. Some
I don't
expansion.
even remember.
It adds superpower cards basically into the game. You get some special powers cards that you can get. Love it. It's that 90-minute Euro, I want to say.
Yeah, it's like in that perfect spot.
Yeah, 90-minute-ish Euro game.
The cover is, it's it's a good game because those Euro games that have the garbage covers give you no idea.
Has that guy going?
You know it's a good game.
I'm Lorenzo.
Is that how he sounds?
Yes.
I never knew that.
I think he's Italian. I don't.
Yeah, Lorenzo il Magnifico. Yes, it's a very Italian.
I don't know how to do a grumpy old Italian.
We don't even want to know what that even sounds like coming out of you.
Lorenzo il Magnifico. It is Magnifico. Let's move on to a tacky hybrid game. How many tacky hybrid games have I had on this
I don't know,
list?
but it seems like this is
Lords of
your 10
Hellas,
of it.
Age of Empires. You can almost say the dominant species are tacky hybrid games. And now we got
Very attacky.
Rising Sun.
Wow, this is such a good one too.
Rising Sun, the land of the rising sun. I don't know what I'm saying.
We need to play this again.
This one was my 42
badly.
last time, so it went up one place.
Wow,
So it's basically
okay.
stayed in the same spot. Love me some Rising Sun. I want to play this. Is at the tippy top of my want to play list.
Yeah.
I need to get this one to the table again. This may be the next game we play when we have guests over.
Yeah, because this is one of those that we determined was you need to play it with a group of people. This is not a 2-player.
It doesn't play 2-player at all. It's not even designed for
Yeah,
2-player.
it's just
It plays best, in my opinion, at 3 or 5, but who's to say?
the 4-player is meh.
4-player is okay, but then there's no.
That's right, the way the map balances out.
Well, no, it's
Wasn't
an
it
alliance thing. I always find it better if you have an odd man out on the alliances.
How rude! You're so mean. You're just casting yourself
All right,
into
4
this.
players is great. It's friendly. There's not. You can get your couples can ally with each other. Actually, I never ally with you.
I was gonna say you never ally with me unless you intend to betray me later.
I like how she said that. Say it again.
You did not ally with me.
Ally. She said ally. I like that. Ally. I like it. Anyway. So this is in the Eric Lane hybrid trilogy. You got Blood Rage, you got Rising Sun, now you got Ankh. This one's a good one. This one has got some negotiation, some secret bidding, crazy asymmetrical powers, like extreme asymmetrical
awesome.
powers. Each
love
clan
them.
plays the game almost differently than the
They
other
really
clans.
do, and they're all good.
This game is I really enjoy this game. You got some cards, some card sets you can mix in. If you have some of the expansions, there's different combos of cards you can play in the game that kind of tricks up how the game works. There's these big, giant, crazy beast things that are in all the Eric Lane trilogy games that go around and do all kinds of crazy stuff. Love this one because I love negotiation, secret bidding. Got some mechanisms I really enjoy. Maybe not for everyone, but I really enjoy those mechanisms. Yeah. We got the crazy all-in Kickstarter craziness pledge of everythingness and we've only scratched the surface of all the goodies. This may be another one where we throw the kitchen sink in next time we play, and then write down what we like and don't like.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that.
Rising Sun. An awesome, epic hybrid game of epic goodness.
Yeah, it's cool because it's been so long. I've punished this just because we have not played it in so long. And what I loved is I remember the faction that I was playing because the movement was very specific and it's kind of a plodding movement.
Right.
You can't just do anything.
But
my faction that I had
the butterflies,
could like fly.
Whatever, dragonfly.
I don't remember what maybe that's what they were called. Yeah. And I could just go anywhere on the board and it was insanely powerful. It felt like it, I felt like I was breaking the game, but everybody else had these other game breaker abilities and stuff too. But it was just fun because everybody else expects, everybody to plod towards them and I'm like, boom, I'm here, mwah, and just, it was so much fun just to have something so different.
I did something similar as you. It was my 13 originally.
Yeah.
Dropped way down to 40. 42.
Yeah.
Just because we haven't played it.
We haven't played it.
But it's hanging around that same spot because
so good.
How much I want to, and how good it is, and how much I want to play it.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the tippy top of my want to play list.
Yeah.
Rising Sun. That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Wow. That flew by. All right. That's it for my 50 to 41. Let's take a sneak peek. Sneak peek for the next time around. Next set of 10, the second worst of the best. What we got going on? We got 2 new games.
Okay.
2 new games.
Okay. What you got?
What else? We got 1. How many games went up? Did games go up? Oh, no. 1 game went up. 1.
Well, yeah, 2, you're getting really high up on your list. That makes sense.
2 games went up. The rest of them dropped a little bit.
Wow, okay. So these are all high quality.
Yep. So that's it. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.